Hello dear students. In the previous class we had seen the lesson named I Have a Dream, which is a speech by Martin Luther King Jr. In his speech, Martin Luther King points out the way to a world free from the racial turmoil. He wants his people as well as white people to be in the same category regarding the rights of equality, liberty and life. Even now the speech is considered one of the powerful speech, and people still remembers that speech. People still remember the importance of his speech. So in previous part he had taken two three words as a metaphor, like bad check and dark and desolate valley of segregation, to portray Negroes' problems in America. So today we are going to continue from where we stopped in the last class. But there is something that I must say to my people who stand on the warm threshold which leads into the palace of justice. Again he has used metaphor, the palace of justice, like the place of destination. My people, here my people means Afro-American people, Negro people, who stand on the warm threshold, the doorstep, the part where you are entering into the house. Warm threshold which leads into the palace of justice means you are supposed to enter into the building. The palace of justice is a metaphor. Metaphor means it's a figure of speech. A thing is used to representing other thing. Here palace of justice is used as a metaphor to get a justice. Justice to whom? To Afro-American people, the black people. In the process of gaining our rightful place, we must not be guilty of wrongful deeds. See, what is his concern? Even when we are walking through this path, even in the process of getting our rights back, we should not go in a wrongful way. Deeds, works. We should not go through wrongful deeds. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. So while we are walking through get this freedom, getting this equality rights, we should not forget. Mr. King says that we should not forget our path. We are following non-violence. So cup of bitterness and hatred, this is also a metaphor. Metaphor used to resemble the pain which is inside of Negro people, because they are tortured, they are suppressed since the ages. So now it's the time to get what they deserve. We must forever conduct our struggle on the high plane of dignity and discipline. So they should not follow the wrongful ways. They should not go through the violent ways. Instead, we must forever conduct our struggle on the high plane of dignity and discipline in a manner of noble ways and manner of disciplined ways. We should protest. We must not allow our creative protest to degenerate into physical violence. So, to get what we want or to get our rights, we should not suppress others. We should not indulge into physical violence like it is common to us in India when there is a Bandh or when there is a close of a country or some particular place. What does the protesters do? Protesters, they take all the means, all the ways, they find all the ways to harm in any extent. They burn the vehicles, they harm the people, they harm government institutions, government buildings, they harm the property of public as well as private. So what is the concern of Mr. King here? When we are walking through this path in getting equality, in getting our rights, we should not degenerate. We should not lower ourselves. We should not get back from our values, and we should not turn into physical violence. Again and again, we must rise to the majestic heights of meeting physical force with soul force. See, he himself is a ordained minister in the church, means priest. He is a priest, he is a Christian minister. So, he is influenced by Christian doctrines as well as non-violence etiquettes or non-violence values or philosophies from Mahatma Gandhi. And he wants to take those values into his protest, into his rally, into his march, and ask his followers to follow on the same path. The marvelous new militancy which has engulfed the Negro community must not lead us to distrust of all white people, for many of our white brothers, as evidenced by their presence here today, have come to realize that their destiny is tied up with our destiny. When the protesters of the civil rights movement are covered with other people, not only black people but also with white people. So they are the evidence sakshi, the main witness here. So they should not point out our mistakes. We should not allow them to point out our mistake. Rather, their destiny, the events which are happening in the future, their life goal are tied up with our destiny. Our means Afro-American people's destiny. Both of them, white people as well as black people, have the same destiny. So they are the witness of this incident, and they have come to realize that their freedom is inextricably bound to our freedom. So as they are witnessing this march, they also, the white people also realize that their freedom is inseparable to Afro-American people. Both of them have the same right of freedom. Both of them have entitled, both of them are entitled to enjoy the freedom which is given under democracy, given by the government. We cannot walk alone, and as we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall always march ahead. We cannot go single, we should go both together. And as we walk, we should make the pledge, promise, shall always march ahead. We can't turn back. We came here, so we can't turn back. We should move forward. We cannot turn back. There are those who are asking the devotees of civil rights, when will you be satisfied? So, the white people or other people asking to the who are the devotees? Devotees are the followers of civil rights, mean black people, the Afro-American people, the Negro people who follow this march. Devotees, worshippers, admirer. When will you be satisfied? When people ask to these civil rights protesters, when will you be satisfied? So what's their answer? We can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of unspeakable horrors of police brutality. We can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim Balipashu of the unspeakable horrors of police brutality. That means they wanted to stop. They wanted to stop that police brutality because why? Because they are the black people. We can never be satisfied as long as our bodies, heavy with the fatigue of travel, cannot gain lodging in the motels of highways and the hotels of the cities. See, there were discrimination. Motels means small hotels, a small one-room hotel like we call in local like a Gudangadi, but it's not a Gudangadi. It is like a small hotels which reside near roadside. So these people, the Afro-American, the Negro people are allowed to go to the motels, but they aren't allowed to go to the hotels of the cities. Hotels are the big hotel which has lodging system, everything. So there were the partiality and police brutality, torture, dabbalike, savagely, beating. So when someone asks the question, when will you be satisfied? The answer is when someone stopped the brutality on African people, as well as when there will be stop in partiality between white and African people, getting the seats, getting the permission into the motels as well as in the hotels of the cities. We cannot be satisfied as long as the Negro's basic mobility is from a smaller ghetto to a larger one. Ghetto is a small area, part of a city, like a slum area, to larger one. So these people are obliged to take shelter in the ghetto, slum area, where the poor people, where does they stay? I mean, they stay in some colonies, like some slum areas. Are rich people going to stay in a slum area? No. We can find only the poor people in those areas called slums. Ghetto is a word, is a place, is a part of the city. It is like a slum area. So what they want the mobility movement, moving freely from one place to another place, to from this ghetto to a larger one. We can never be satisfied as long as our children are stripped of their selfhood and robbed of their dignity by signs stating for whites only. See, it is like selfhood, the self identity. So when a child is asked, you should not sit here, or you should not enter that mall or a shop because you are a black, how that child would feel? Think of yourself. If you are asked to do the same because of your caste or a color, how would you feel? Isn't it painful? So for whites only, we won't satisfied until this discrimination is taken off completely. We cannot be satisfied as long as a Negro in Mississippi cannot vote, and a Negro in New York believes he has nothing for which to vote. See, in Mississippi or New York, they are the places of America. States, different states in America. So in some places they don't have right to vote. It's not only some places. Most of the places in America at that time, the Negroes were prohibited from the right of vote. No, we are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. So we are not satisfied until we get a justice like a mighty stream. See, mighty stream is also again a metaphor which is reflected, or which reflects the justice. Mighty stream, Jalapata, how it falls. It falls continuously, heavily, isn't it? So a mighty stream is a metaphor used to compare to the justice. So we want a justice like what white peoples have, what they enjoy. So we want the same. Until then, we are not satisfied. I'm not unmindful that some of you have come here out of great trials and tribulations. So many of you have come here with great trial like a court case. Some of you have come directly from the court who were attending some cases on you. Tribulations, problems, sufferings. Righteousness, sadachara, goodness. Trial, inquiry in the court case. Tribulations, troubles, problems. So many of you have come with your own problems. Though you are here because to get your what right. Some of you have come from narrow jail cells. See, some of you might be here who have come directly from the jail. They just released from the jail and directly joined this project. And some of you have come from areas where your quest means search, a strong search, quest for freedom left you battered by the storms of persecution, staggered by the winds of police brutality. Yeah, I mean, some of you have come from your court case trials and tribulation problems, and some of you might be here. Some of you could be here. Sorry, not could be. Some of you have come, might be here, direct jail cells. And some of you have come from areas where your quest for freedom left you battered. You wanted that freedom, but you were suffered under the persecution of police. ಶೋಷಣೆ ಯಾರಿಂದ? ಪೊಲೀಸರಿಂದ. You have been veterans of creative suffering. Yeah, you are a master. You are mastered. You have been the veterans. Veteran means master. Because you suffered under different kinds of sufferings. You have been the veterans of creative suffering. Continue to work with the faith that unearned suffering is redemptive. So, don't stop your sufferings. Don't stop your intention to get into the protest or walk through this protest. Don't stop. One should not stop. Although you have been faced all these inequalities, brutality, you have been suffered, and you have become a great sufferer. Veteran means grandmaster, like a experienced. Yes, they have become a veterans of sufferings under these white people, under this brutality done by white people on black people. But what will happen at last? This suffering will lead you redemption, vimochane. You will get a salvation. You will free. Your faith will give you the answer. Your suffering won't go in vain. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಷ್ಟಗಳು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. Instead, you will get an answer. You will bear that fruit. You will get that freedom. Go back to Mississippi. Go back to Alabama. Go back to South Carolina. Go back to Georgia. Go back to Louisiana. Go back to the slums and ghettos of our northern cities, knowing that somehow this situation can and will be changed. So he asks people to go all the places of America and preach and tell them that the situation will be changed. It should be changed. It will be changed. Let us stop here today.